Hello, hello, world of YouTube. I'm back with Antonym Cosmetics today. I really debated doing this because it looked to me like they were phasing them out on Sephora, like they're not restocking. I'm going to show you colors anyway because Sephora is not the only place to shop and maybe you wanted to know. So here we go. So when I was doing my transition, and no, I don't really use a lot of Dirty Beauty. That's a lie. I use like an eye pencil or something like that sometimes. My favorite was Charlotte Tilbury. I invested, this was a big purchase for me, in the Dolce Vita palette. I think it has a new name now. Sophia Rose, something with Sophia in it, named after her nieces. And what I found was a pretty good alternative to this was actually Antonym's Quattro in Noisette? Is that how you would say it? So this is a really cool brand. They do contain talc, but it's EU certified, so it shouldn't be contaminated with asbestos. I believe they actually have processes to make sure that it is not. Bamboo packaging, more sustainable if you want to go that route. They do have lovely mirrors in here. You know how I feel about mirrors. As I've been clearing out my makeup collection over the past couple of years, recycling packaging has been a real problem for me. Like, when I don't want to just toss something away, I want to make sure that something that I've brought into my life and supported in the world can be disposed of responsibly, and I don't find that true for a lot of makeup packaging. So the mirrors not being recyclable is a little bit of a downfall for me, but it's really helpful to use to do your makeup. So come see, come saw, right? So that's the first one I'm going to talk about and swatch for you, is that Quad? Sure. And then I have two of their blushes, and I actually kind of have my eyes on the copper one too. So this is the Antonym Baked Blush in Rose, and it's kind of like this mauvey, marbled color. It's very beautiful. I'm going to use that nasty mirror now. And I'm just taking that on a Real Techniques. I think this is a setting brush. So that's it. It's just like a mid-tone mauve, I would say. Very nice color. You can see it on the cheek there. It's finger swatch. It really reminds me of the Ambient Lighting Powder's Mood Light, or even their blush. They have like a mauve blush. Do I have foundation on my hands? Oh well. So that's it there. It looks super subtle, doesn't it? But it, like, as you can tell, it just gives a little bit of definition on the cheek, I would say. And it's so neutral, you could wear it with like a lot of looks. And then the other color we have is Peach. I don't know why there's such a long pause there. And maybe I'll swatch this one first on this hand. If you can see my dry hands, I apologize. Yeah, so they're both very subtle, and this one is almost like, if you're familiar with Kier Weiss, they have that light peachy shade, the light peachy shade Precious by Kier Weiss. There's also like a neutral, almost beigey Charlotte Tilbury First Love, I think would be a good dupe for this, or this would be a good dupe for that. Let's be specific here. Or the Dim Light blush from Hourglass Ambient Lighting as well. Look, I'm a bit of a da-da-da today. We're going to take that same brush. So this little on the purple side, not really, but like mauve, and this one's a little more brightening, I would say, as peaches tend to be. So I really like that one. And let's swatch the eyeshadow palette, which I am wearing on my eyes today. I have I have the champagne all the way up to the brow bone, so just as a base I was wearing it. This one is on the lid. It's like a golden copper. It's very nice. This is actually, this brown on the side here has a lot of reddy purple in it. It almost reminds me of the new Victoria Beckham palette in tweed that I'm just dying for, and I'm trying so hard not to purchase because I can't really afford it. But wow, is that a pretty palette. So this has kind of been fulfilling my need for that. And this is like a matte dark brown, and I just use that to kind of deepen up the sides here. Ooh, they swatch really nice. I don't know if you're gonna see the champagne one. Oh, there it is. So just like light goldy pearlescent champagne. This is like, these two are the star of the bunch for me. This is like a coppery warm gold and a reddened purpley bronze shade, and then this matte neutral brown. I use that for a one shadow and done kind of thing, so I like having that option as well. I will say a few things about these, and then I'm gonna look up some info from the brand and maybe put it in here too. For whatever reason, I don't reach for them, and I think part of that is my own fault, and it's where I've been storing them. It's kind of the back of the drawer because they're square, and that's just where they seem to fit the best. Packaging's pretty bulky for the blushes, so I don't tend to travel with them, and I've been doing a lot of traveling this past year. I moved away from family, so we've been going on vacations and visiting home way more than I've ever done before, because I didn't need to. I lived fairly close to everyone. I was very lucky. And as it doesn't really, like, it kind of has a magnet maybe, but I don't know if I would, well, it stays closed pretty good. For whatever reason, I don't feel like I trust it. Maybe because I've broken bamboo palettes in the past. I got these beautiful ones from Elate, the Pro palettes, the large ones, and I managed to break the first one. Well, the first one like broke right out of the box, and the second replacement broke within a couple of days. But I really like their smaller palettes from them, so I would recommend the small ones from Elate. So for whatever reason, I don't reach for them, which is a shame because they're such beautiful colors. I would say the blushes obviously are not too pigmented, so they're fairly limited on the shade range, although the copper for medium skin I think would be pretty. I wonder if it would work on dark skin, maybe as a highlight. I don't know if it's as inclusive as it should be, but beautiful shades if they work for you. Very light, and that was a pretty, I dipped in, you know, pretty heavy application, so I like a light neutral blush. Eyeshadow or lips is the star of the show for me. I don't really like to emphasize my big chunky cheeks anyway, but that may not be what everyone's looking for, so there's the downside. I find them quite powdery to work with, and today I just had, it might be because I have texture on my eyelids from it being so dry and the eye cream, and then I put a powder on today, but I didn't feel like they applied as smoothly as I remember them doing, or maybe I just didn't notice it, or I didn't think it was a big deal in the past because the colors are so pretty. They will fade throughout the day, but I honestly prefer that. Sorry, I'm going to take a little sip of, oh, news. I am no longer a coffee snob. This is yesterday's coffee with ice and milk blended in. It's just in a mason jar with these thick glass straws I think I got from Axial. What is that brand called? It's really expensive and all hippie. Anywho, delicious. Yes, they fade throughout the day. Got there. Which I think is better than really creasing or becoming unwearable. They just kind of diffuse and leave. It's almost like a nice lip stain wearing off instead of getting like the ring in the middle. They leave quietly, peacefully, no harm done kind of feel. So maybe not the longest wearing, maybe not the most pigmented. It's a very specific brand. It fills a very specific need. So that's going to depend if that's right for you to invest in these. I believe they're over $50 for the blush. Like, they're not cheap products. They do have great ingredients if you're comfortable using talc. I feel comfortable with it since they do have that extra testing and screening for it. They don't irritate my eyes, which is huge for me. I used to wear Urban Decay and my eyes would be, I'd be scratching at them all day. They would drive me crazy. So I really appreciate that about these. They're easy to throw on. I think they complement brown eyes. I could imagine this color on blue eyes would be brilliant, and kind of the red and the brown for green. So I think they're very flattering. They're very user-friendly. I'm a put on and get out kind of girl. As much as I love the artistry of sitting there on a day-to-day basis, I don't have that long to get ready, and I need something that's pretty foolproof. So for that, I would say these are really wonderful. They're not 10 out of 10, maybe 8 out of 10. I thought I would just quickly add a little bit about the brand for those who are interested, and I think these are what talked me into purchasing, and no regrets here. I'm not saying I regret purchasing. I do like these when I remember to use them. These are eco-certified. They're organic, which is pretty incredible. They're cruelty-free. Their brushes are vegan. They were founded in 2013, so clean products, beautiful colors. I think I'll take this as a reminder to pull them out of my stash more often. All right, let me know in the comments down below if you've tried these, if you enjoy them, if that copper one is kind of calling my name, even though I don't reach for these. Isn't that crazy? Makeup hoarder over here. I'm trying to do better about that. But if you've made it to the end, I appreciate you so much. Thank you again for watching. And until next time, keep smiling out there, okay? Bye.